Tell me more about that.
Like, this feels like this is something they've been trying to do since before they started the first colonies here.
Oh, they've been trying to do this for that long? Well, how do they feel now that they can finally do this?
It looks like it is a very mass orchestrated event, that there are many who are, like, they work on them beyond this as well.
Could you tell me about that?
That those who have chosen to ascend have been visited before, that they have been contacted before, that they've had experiences with these others, the others who created us, who brought us here to this planet and made our world and made us into what we are and are grooming us, that we have.
Could you tell me more about that?
We cannot see them in our everyday life. We have blocked them out.
But they're there?
It feels that they are there, that they are like the closest would be like a multidimensional type of being, where we can be in the same place at the same time, being guided, but we cannot always see each other.
Oh.
But when we are removed from our everyday, when we are taken in a different state, like a subconscious state, when we are taken in a different way, where we are like in our sleep, in our dreams, in our other mind, that's what it is. We can see them.
What do they look
we
like?
can see. They take all different forms. They will take the form that our brain is most comfortable recognizing as what we classify as something that is not human, but like human. So the brain will kind of create this image to protect you, but it's really just a very, almost like, picture a human being that has no features and no hair and is like this glass orb of a body that has this beautiful sparkle of like almost like sparkling dust inside of it, like electricity, but it's not glass, it's very like moldable and movable and like watery almost. And they can take whatever form you feel comfortable. But it is a very advanced being. It's not something you would look at and fear.
Mm-hmm.
You would feel curious attachment to it. It would pull you in. You would want to embrace it and pull your face close to what would be the void of a face there, this rounded, almost spherical type of face. You would want to almost put your forehead to where its would be.
Mm-hmm.
And feel this strange connection, this energy, this part that you recognize as part of you. That part of you is still in that we are so fractured. We are not entirely whole beings, that parts of us are in so many different places at so many different times.
Could you tell me about that?
That a shred of me could be inside of one of these things, while part of me can be in this physical body, and another part of me can be in another physical body, and another part of me can be on a completely different universe, in a whole different physical entity there at the same time.
Does it affect the human to have this happen?
No, it is designed so that these all work simultaneously within this existence, within this chosen existence.
Oh, I see.
And they are added on in conjunction to each other, that they work together in a symbiotic relationship.
Interesting. Well, what about the new Earth? What is going on with the new Earth right now?
It looks like it is still very new and fresh and young, and just like a baby just born. That it's this kind of fresh, young, beautiful place, but there's just not a lot of people there.
Mm-hmm.
It's very slow, but it will take some time.
Are the hybrid children still there or no?
The hybrid children are there, but the new people coming are very slow to come.
And when you say new people coming, do you mean the new people leaving from this earth to that earth?
Those who are ascending and who are not staying.
Oh, okay.
Some have chosen to stay here to complete whatever their completion is needed, whatever is needed within their completion. And others are completing by ascending, and they are ascending to the new earth.
Do the people have to die to ascend to the new earth?
There is no need for the physical body in going to the new earth. So the removal of the self from the physical body seems to be the way forward.
Okay. I see. And when do you see that happening?
I already see it happening. It just is not happening very fast. That there is a very slow trickle at the moment. That there still is something that needs to be done to open the faucet.
Oh, could you tell me about that?
I'm looking and I don't see too much right now.
What about the hybrid children? Could you tell me what the purpose of these hybrid children is?
They are there, and it looks like they are there to help guide us once we get there. That we have created these familiar beings in order to guide and to lead and to, it's not instruct, but it's close to the word instruct. It's deeper than that.
Okay.
It is like a nurturing to show us as we join and ascend how to be happy, how to be part of the new world, the new earth.
Well, Jen has hybrid children. Is there a purpose for those children?
They are to be guides for people. Essentially, they are in charge. They are the keepers of the new earth.
Oh, okay.
As they grow and they continue the work of the new earth, they are the guardians of it.
I see. How does somebody know if they have hybrid children?
There are many who will feel that they have had a phantom pregnancy, or that they have had a visitation with a being and have had parts of their body where parts of their reproductive systems have been like not taken from them, but taken from them in some ways, that they'll feel that part of them was taken. And they will not understand this. This is something I feel many people repress, that they push down deep away and assume it was something they have just maybe saw in a movie and don't remember or could not understand. But there is a very deep feeling of loss, that something was taken from you.
Oh,
That something was done to you and you can't understand what it is. But you feel this loss, especially for many women, this loss of a child, that there was something there that was taken from you.
I see. And where do these children go exactly?
They are taken, it looks like what I can see from my own is a spheric, like a circular room, a room that has no corners to it. A large and a domed ceiling that has light that just emanates from it. It is not one single light source. And around the room they have many tubes that the children are held in. These looks like artificial wombs, but large, and they will keep them in there for quite some time until they're a bit older, till they're probably, it looks like 10 to 12 months that they stay in these incubation tubes, longer than one would inside a human body.
Why do they stay there for so long?
It looks that they need extra because there is a period of time after a newborn is born where they're very small and dependent, and it doesn't allow them to, it looks like they need to develop more inside that tube, because they won't have the closeness of a mother, of a human body for that. sustenance and those needs.
Do the mothers visit these children?
They bring them. They bring them when they sleep. It's like a dimensional trip that you can still be within your body sleeping in your bed, but they can ascend a part of you to visit with the children and to see them. But it is not the same as I felt with my children on this planet. There is a bit of a disconnect.
Could you tell me more?
Because you see them and they are hybrid. They are you and someone else, and you do not know who that is. And you do not have the attachment of a long pregnancy or the strain on the body that attaches one to it, nor the bonding and connection after the birth. So there is a disconnect that takes place for those who do go to view, and that's why not all of those are allowed to go, and rarely are you allowed to remember any of these things, because it is too traumatic and taxing on the human mind to understand and comprehend this.
And the purpose for these babies is to be guides for the new earth?
They are the keepers, the guides, the officiants. They are the orchestrators within.
What are these children like?
They're very free-spirited and open and understanding. They're very intelligent. They're very just like ethereal. They have this beautiful presence to them that you feel is just zen and knowingness. You feel this need to be in their presence, that there is safety in their presence, a calmness to them.
And why couldn't just beings be there as guides? Why do this hybridization project?
The beings are not something that we would look at and say, this is us and this is our new earth.
Oh.
We would feel like visitors. When it is part of us that we are rejoining and growing onto, then it is our new earth.
I see, okay. So is that the only reason for the hybridization project, or is there another reason behind it?
That is for the hybridization project I'm familiar with, but I believe there are other hybridization projects that are outside of this realm that are not always in the same level of appropriateness. In some ways, it feels that this is a very this doesn't feel violating, where others I feel could feel very violated.
Could you tell me more about that? What would the purpose of that be?
We are definitely not alone
Mm-hmm.
in this massiveness that we are in. And even though we do relate back to our early ancestors coming to this planet, for many of us, they are not the only ones who have come here. They are not the only ones out there. They are just some of the most the word is hard to get, like congenial, the most open-minded.
Okay.
They're just a good heart. They are that kind of a visitor, of a colonizer. They came with an open mind to spread goodness, to protect and to continue their legacy in a non-conforming way.
I see.
Non-conforming, a non-threatening way.
I see, okay.
But others have not done this. The others have come here looking to experiment.
Why?
It is a curiosity, and then it also looks as if they are looking in some ways to find weaknesses, to manipulate. Some, it even is just boredom.
Boredom. Why would they be bored?
Looks like the universe can be, especially in this part of the universe, very isolating and boring. And if you're passing through, checking out some of the local population in your own way can be entertaining.
Can a human protect themselves from that type of interaction?
If you're aware of this being a possibility in your life or in anyone's life, then you can.
Can you set an intention? Would that be okay?
You could set an intention and that could protect you, but more often than not, you could be looking to protect yourself from something that you yourself have chosen to participate in.
I see.
So unless there is a true examination through a meditation or a regression that allows you to fully understand what that experience is, I do not see the need to push it away at first. I think it needs to first be examined and looked at and understood in depth as to where the threat lies for you. The threat may only lie in your misunderstanding of it.
Oh, okay, I see.
The fear comes from this continual image in our mainstream culture of a harmful visitor. But that does not take away from those who have felt harmed by visitors.
I see. Anything else you want to say about that?
There is more of the good kind than there are of the bad kind.
Okay.
And it is our own fears and misunderstandings that make us feel that they are bad visitors rather than what they truly are.
I see. I have heard that there are some beings that have lost their ability to reproduce because they advance too quickly with their technology. Is that correct? I don't think so. Oh.
I don't see it automatically.
Okay.
But it may not be that it doesn't exist, that it just doesn't exist in my realm, or they won't show me. I don't see anything clearly when it comes to that.
Okay. What kind of messages would you like to give people in general?
I don't know. There is so much there. There is so dependent on what your role is going to be going forward in all of this. It is the process of examination, of truly looking at these moments you feel that you may have been outside of yourself, that you may have had an experience or a partial ascension, and to truly meditate on them, to get in touch with that part of your brain that is keeping these records, and to ignore the walls that you've built around them, to shut them off, and to start examining them, and to really examine them as if they were a reality rather than a bad dream that you've had that you can't seem to remember. Try to cling on to feelings in your everyday that remind you of this. Sometimes there'll be a feeling that'll take you on that will remind you of those experiences, and to pull that and to dwell on that and to try to remember everything you can when you have those feelings, to understand this better.
Thank you very much.